with the cap in the hand. Sithathe isigqoko sithe. Sathi asincengi. Le exam kade sinikezwa uFloyd asizuyibhala this time around. Ngoba lamfana wasibhalisa i-exam. Ithe masiqeda ukuyibhala wathi siyifailile. Uyabona uprincipal ohambe ebhalisa abantu ama-exam abafailisa kodwa bepasile uyahamba abe yilento ayiyo manje. Hambe esithubeni ngoba lo principal lo akekho right. So wasifaka isikolo sathi no asingeni lonto. Sikhulume nomuntu wonke. And we invited everybody to come to the government of national unity. 10 political parties signed what is called a statement of intent. Nifundile lo statement of intent. Nifundile. Baba ngapha bayifundile la. Phakamisa izandla. Nayifunda i-statement of intent. Lebe bethu Mbalula usayine into akayazi nokuthi isho ukuthini. Usayinele i-freedom yethu. Uyathanda ukusayina uMbalula akayifundanga lento. Ndifuna ukubona manje nayifunda. Nayifunda comrades. Phakamisa isandla. Niyasaba ukuthi nizonibuza ukuthi ithi. So we had a statement of intent that was drafted by the ANC and signed by 10 political parties. And then we formed a government of national unity with the president of the country and the speaker of the National Assembly coming from the African National Congress. That's what happened. And the ANC participating both in the legislature, in all committees, with the limited numbers that we've got. This is a masterclass, comrades, that you can have so much power even though limited with 40%. And then we had another one, option of going for elections. We didn't consider that. Among the options that we had, going for elections, we didn't go for elections. We said, in the interest of South Africa and its stability, let's work not like sore losers. In the best interest of South Africans, let's advance and stabilize our country. In less than 14 days, a government was constituted in the Republic of South Africa, led by Matamela and the African National Congress. So that is a setback. Inamahlandi nyuka le GNU. Ayisayili kamnandi nje. Kukho abanye abantu who think that ANC is still dominant. We are no longer having the power that we used to have. We negotiate every day. Everything. Nami ngiye ngithi mangizibona le mandate ngayiphezwa yi-ANC bonke lama comrades ngibona ukuthi no sengiguga msinya manje. And nicabanga ngigugiswa ngama branch yile GNU. Ngoba sinegotiate every day lapha. Ujongana noZile every day ayinto emnandi ne. Ukhuluma naye uncenga this and that. And mawuba arrogant nabo baba arrogant. Zandu kunikeza example. Budget lafika isuku layo kwabanzima. At that moment we should have left them. But kwacaca ukuthi arrogance and everything is not going to work. To pass this budget we need everybody. We have to negotiate that budget. And Nati, there are tactical mistakes we did, which amongst them was around the issue of the VAT. But not entirely incorrect. Our position was right. We were saying, and we still maintain that it's in our manifesto, that all essentials will be zero rated. Because the working class want bread, one maize meal. And all of those things must be zero rated. Milk must be zero rated. But mawufuna imagnum into emnandi ufuna utshwala iyakhuphuka iVAT. Jonga silwe namanxila nabantu abaphuwa same time. iDA yabona ithuba yangena yaba ngabo ichampion zeVAT, anti-VAT. Niyakhumbula? Yet, in terms of the challenges we were facing, was that where are we going in terms of the state of the economy and the revenue we have generated, going to get these resources to address this huge demand of things that we need to do as government? There had to be compromises. And those compromises are still eating in your pocket. Yashifta yaya ku petrol. Uyabona manje imoto ziningi but sinciphile garage. Uhamba nge10 rand, 20 rand phela petrol. La petrol ibhatalela leza zinto besingakwazi ukuthi sizibhatalele through iVAT. And then kwathiwa no, we are taxing the poor when it was incorrect. You understand? Ifikelela kade ke ebantwini, it takes time to be understood that we are not taxing the poor. In fact, we are cushioning the poor in what we are doing. So our opponents had a field day about that. Niyakhumbula? And that's what happened. So comrades, in the GNU we are in, there is negotiations all the time about the way forward and what needs to happen. We have a strategic setback that we are in a position to actually come back from as the African National Congress. There are many challenges. The people of Mpumalanga have loudly said that we know the challenges we have encountered, but we have also seen the changes the ANC has brought since 1994. There are those who say that we have not seen changes. ANC have not built anything since they came into power. When you look at the road passing here in Naspoti to Mozambique, you never had a road like that. Who built that? It's us, the democratic state. You didn't have a university here in Mpumalanga. Mawudlula umgwaqo from here ikujongile university ikujonge ha. It was built by the ANC in Mpumalanga. It's a commitment we made and we delivered. Comrades, we have cushioned the poor through intervention since from 1994 till to date, by intervening in terms of the basic needs of our people. When we came into power in 1994, President Thabo Mbeki says, when we came in, all what we met at Union Building, there was no handover and papers about how to govern. It was just an empty desk. We had to see to finish. And when we went to interrogate what is left in the past, our economy was bankrupt. We had to respond to that. At the same time, we had adopted the RDP. Where is the RDP? Reconstruction and Development Program for our people. We had to decide how are we going to fund, where are we going to get money to fund the RDP, which we did not have. We had to prioritize. We had to intervene through different policies, indigent and cushion the poor in the different local areas where when we came in. Electricity was not there. Supply for our people. Apa, Ehlanzeni, Kanyamazana. Stula City Kanyamazana Siyaya. That was our last Congress of the South African Youth Congress, which was held in Kanyamazana. And that is when we sang the song Kanyamazana Siyaya. Kanyamazana Siyaya bu. Kanyamazana Siyaya bu. Kanyamazana Siyaya bu. Siyaya bu. Amandla. Diani tunuga. The youth sang that song, not knowing that was our last march to freedom. And we were tightening up, electing Peter Mokaba as the president of the South African Youth Congress. That was our second Congress after the launch of SEICO in the University of Western Cape. Our second Congress of SEICO was here in Mpumalanga, Kanyamazana. Some of the comrades who belong to that leadership crop from Mpumalanga, Gabo Comrade Joe, not this one. Yeah, Nango. Yes. That was the leadership of South African Youth Congress. Coming from here. Angmazu Paxman Katlana ngoba nase Eastern Cape bayamclaima. But Paxman Katlana, among others, came from here. So, La Mpumalanga, we produced cadres. We became the corridor and the passage of ANC underground work to Maputo in Mozambique. Komati Accord that killed Samora Machel. Amapulu, Ati, Ben Umkhonto Wesizwe in Mozambique, and Nati will ban mercenaries and everybody, but they killed Samora Machel the day after they signed the Komati Accord. That's across this province. So, the program of liberating our people came amidst the difficulties and the challenges that we faced. And the ANC have never abandoned the poor till today. So, Apa Kanyamazana and everywhere there was no electricity. Amapunu. What they brought these long flashlights in the townships. Every township had a name for them. Mina lapho bengiphuma khona bekuthiwa kimuntu wamona because it was tall. But the ANC connected the households to the grid, meaning electricity from your house to the grid. Ungene, upresse, kube no gas. ANC made electricity accessible, clean water, and then 3,000 liters of water for free for Omagogo and abantu abangathatha entweni. That was an indigent policy of the African National Congress. And then we built an infrastructure of this water access to our townships and even the villages amidst the challenges that we face today. So Labantu who say that ANC did nothing. Comrades, history demands of us to succeed. Without the ANC, our people are nothing. This is their vehicle, the African National Congress. The ANC had to implement policies of redress that the DA and others today are fighting us to abandon. When a revolution is affected by this setback, it means to step backward for the program of transformation. Wathi umeya we-DA ekhethwa eJohannesburg the #1 city in Africa. Wathi if anibhatali eSoweto angikhathali noba nicabanga njani, we are not ANC, you are going to pay. Lwasisi wangena bathi ngudoctor, wangena engumeya we-DA wathi eSoweto thina we are not ANC, you are going to pay, you must pay. Abantu bakuthi kwathula kwathi cwaka tu. I-DA yathi niyakhokha la. I-liability yase-Johannesburg Metro that we address from about 19 billion to an account of about 7 billion today was the burden of being addressed by the African National Congress. So, comrades, why is it easy for people to be dissuaded from us when we have done so much? And why is it so easy for people to forget? That is the question we must ask all the time. Kuchinchephi ukuthi abantu bakhohlwe ngale ngolovane i-ANC namuhla. So easy. Thina besazi ukuthi mawujoin i-ANC, you join it and you'll separate with the ANC. Lingwaba is the grave. But today it's easy for people to cross from the ANC to us. What changed, comrades, in the development of our national democratic revolution? Something changed. Ukuthi abantu bangalahli ithemba. Then when we analyze it, before we agreed on renewal, we said that our ways and deeds of how we do things have contributed largely, which are characterized as our subjective weaknesses, to the low morale among our voters and our people about the ANC. The people say, we've got the vehicle, we trust the ideas, but no longer the vehicle. What do they say? We trust the ideas, but no vehicle. Not the vehicle. And what is that vehicle? The vehicle is the ANC. And that vehicle, it's me and you. Now what it means, comrades, is that when we adopted renewal, it meant the reality of renewal or death. We stand or we die if we don't change our ways of doing things. And one of the top things today people are talking about is unemployment. Abantu abasebenzi, which is not the ANC challenge. How the economy performs and the things that we need to do, which we are doing. We have adopted the 10-point plan. Building industries and industrialization is key in what we seek to do. We can no longer lead with slogans and rhetoric. There must be content. Umandla funeka amela njengonduna nkulu welphondo of this province and his executive, like you meet in the General Council, an account. How are we creating jobs in Mpumalanga? And you must ask that question from the province downwards. And that program must be understood by everybody. And I can tell you, this province and through Mandla have been fighting fearlessly. When there was disinvestment and closing down of mines, a wheat bank and everybody, this comrade stood and went to national government and said, mazivulwe imine. Umzabalazo wethu lo, mazivulwe imine mazingavalwa. Yes, there can be just transition, but just transition must be on our terms. Lento kuthiwa lilahle sisayidinga ngoba siyakwazi ukudala imisebenzi. We are able to create jobs. Masihomba ilahle senza imisebenzi. Sidala imisebenzi kwezimine. Omandla, they fought for that. In terms of investment, I came here this morning. Ngahlala kule airport. I was telling comrades I was with. I used to come here. This airport was very small. Le airport yenu le Nibiza International is very international. Intle airport yakhiwa ngulohulumente we ANC. There was vision in that, and that vision is working. It is full of tourists, and that is job creation. Yeah, in Mpumalanga. Tourism is big in this province. It's very big. So economic intervention is critical in terms of what we seek to do. That is number one issue. Abantu abathetha ngayo, unemployment. ASB is corruption. Corruption. And this corruption is associated with us. Noma singekho kuyo. Kuthiwa le corruption yenziwa yi-ANC. Mawubuka among the civil servants, people living a lifestyle that is questionable. And that lifestyle been brought to book by the ANC government through SIU and many other things. Makaboshwa masela man comrades. Makagandwa masela makagandwe. And the ANC must never be apologetic about corruption and corrupt either civil servants and leaders. Pansi ngokomtsotsi pansi. Pansi ngokomtsotsi pansi. Uyabona laba bantu bahamba phakathi kwethu bathi no mawusayina lana ngizokunikeza ubungaka. Phansi ngabo. Abantu be-ANC abakwazi ukuwela emngqunyweni eyi-1 without learning a lesson from another one. Uyabanjwa uMbalula, you go and repeat the same mistake. Aba bantu bantshontshayo apha embuthweni, not even embuthweni besimisrepresenta. Even if it can be your friend, we must say not in our name. Noba ungamthanda kangakanani uMbalula, makaboshiwe, uboshiwe makazimele. Sanuye court niyocula into yenzayo ayibulunganga, ayilunganga phi. Sazelaphi. Makahambile wabuya, waprova ukuthi there was nothing wrong. Siyamamkela. Ukuthi this comrade has gone this route, he's clean, he has come back. But okwamanje once sizakukhalela ungangilandeli comrade, awuyazi into ekade ndiyenza ungekho. Awuyazi. Fanele usho nje ukuthi hey waze watshona uqabani wami ngimthanda. I-revolution has reached a stage where in which we must not only tell truth to each other, but we must be firm. And that is why we took decisions like step aside. Comrades, when they are not just implicated, but arrested, baya enkundleni, bavele enkundleni yamatyala, baboshwa, sithi mela bucala ulungisa into zakho. And then without putting strain and stress on the organization. Comrades, when you are implicated into something which you know where now is not true, and you're not going to be on step aside, you must clarify yourself in public. Ume utile is not me. Don't allow wrong things to be said about you and you keep quiet. You must clarify. Angisho uyayazi wena uyenzanga lonto. Kwafika omnye umuntu omfishani lapha eGoli. Wakhuluma wathi mina ngithatha ama 10% eLuthuli House. Ngathi uzongazi lo. Ngamchallenge ngathi masiye court ukhuphe le 10% ngayicela kuwe. If kunomuntu la eofisini yami eLuthuli House oye kuwe wasebenzisa igama lami makavele elogqirha malivele la limosha igama lika SG neLuthuli House akange livele akange naye alenza ixesha ndamfaka umthetho ndamsa nasemapoliseni basamphenya nangoku ndiyambambisa ngoba undimosha igama. I didn't invite the ANC to come with me ndiyendodwa because this person was accusing me ndilele ngomqolo kwam ndijongelela iTV uthi ndicele i-10% and uyayazi i-10% ye-500 million comrades iningi kabi angeke ngisebenze nosebenza iningi lo mali wathi uMbalula ucela i-10% apha. Now a comrade, when something is said about you, it doesn't end there. Go to the Integrity Commission, uzicacise. Don't need this thing, you're good to know I'm being dealt with by who? If you are being dealt with, Sizobon, no president, Mosuyaya pa, kui integrity. Ayozicacisa ngephalaphala and so on. Uvela khona. Akekho umuntu omsula la ongazuzicacisa. I-organization eChina bathi kuze eChina basucceed baqala ukuthatha izinqumo ezinzima. eChina waboshwa njenge-corruption hangpala. Ubona indoda ime kanje igqoke impahla ezimnyama iyanyuka bathi ubanjwe nge-corruption ubentshontsha utshentshhe 35 million yenkampani ye-state hangpal straight uyaboshwa akuntshontshwa eChina la kwi-organization i-ANC. I'm going back to that thing, this vehicle thina comrades, why there is a trust deficit with our people. Siyayihlisa i-ANC asikhathaleli. We use it anyhow for our defense. When you are faced with trouble, you don't say it is my trouble, you say I was doing it for the ANC. Ngoba le ANC ayikwazi ukuzikhulumela. A comrade nje uzawuthi I was doing this because I was doing it for the movement. Ubuthunywe yithi na sifuna ama-minute. We want minutes zokuthi when you were doing that ubuyenzela bani that thing. And nansi nyaka sikuyo lamathenda andiyazi sizoyithini mandla into yamathenda kuzofuneka siyicabangisise kahle because ayasimosha ngempela. We'll have to think about that. But the ANC corruption has to take a stance. We have taken a stand, a brutal one, even now. We are blamed even about things that we don't know, that were not done by the ANC. People who just meet and steal from government. Kutiwa nanzo ANC. We must stand up now and clear the name of our organization, not in our name. Upresident uyazijogela laphana uhlangana nendlu yomunye umuntu ufanele explain nokuthi angazi nokwazi ukuthi washata 47 years ago bengiqala ukuyizwa la mina fanele explain ngaqedela ukushada 47 years ago kunzima ubeyijogela nje edlula lapha makadlula lo muntu uyambona lapha uyayicacisa hayi uyaxoka ufuna kathini abe blue. Comrades, how can President Ramaphosa use the SIU for it to act on you whose signature must come there? He's the president. So how can the president sign for proclamation to investigate a corruption is involved in? Awucabangisise nawe ndikunike homework. Lezinto nizazi. If uva kuthiwa SIU ingenile embombela uboyazi ukuthi isayinelwe nguRamaphosa president. But you see, they are so determined to bring us down ngegama le corruption. Even things that can be explained, they make them not to be believable. Believability among our people from an ANC cadre has become a taboo. Uyaxoka, ayikho leyo nto. That's what happens. So, corruption, it's in the fiber of society. And state institutions must be strengthened to fight corruption. Tina, as an organization, we have taken measures. If in the General Council and the conference you believe those measures still are insufficient, you must think about them. Siyazwana, comrade. Mina ngiyizwa ama comrade bathi hey igama le organization leyo isakala SG. This comrade waya ngavela amele ecaleni. Hey ama comrade akavela amele ecaleni. Akami ecaleni nje. Bamiswa si step aside. Pen. So we must be clear with regard to those particular issues. That's the second issue. The third issue is crime. The fight against crime. And that's where we must be. Our people are terrorized by criminals, violent criminals. And I want us to give a big round of applause to the police who have arrested a lot of these criminals. Ayasebenza amaphoyisa. You will know that criminals are arrested. Even criminals that we have known that they are untouchables, some of them are behind the bars. Today, as we speak, something good is happening in the police. And that something good must be supported. But something good is happening. And let's give South African Police Service a big round of applause for the good work that they are doing. Comrades, we must support in street committees, ANC branches, live to the communities through programs like those. Comrades, thing else I've mentioned that is, it is for this reason that we convened the National Executive Committee. Comrade Mandla, ngizobona ngoNovember ukuthi amakhansela angasebenzile ukhiphe amangaphi. Then ngizokwazi ukuthi action plan iyasebenza. Siyazwana comrades. NgoNovember ngifuna i-report la. Sithe after 3 months we need a report. Manje le PC NEC ngoNovember akuzuba i-roll call. Sizobiza another meeting where we are going to report to the public. In Mpumalanga ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi i-action plan nizawube nime kuphi ngayo. Ikhansela elingasebenzi, not ukuthi liyantshontsha, elingasebenzi, uligcineleni. Uligcineleni. Umeya ongasebenzi umgcineleni. Comrades, sinayo i-action plan manje. Angisho. We need a report sinayo ezokutshela ukuthi lapha kulo masipala akusetyenzwa kuyantshontshwa nje. And lo muntu lo fanele ashintshe. Ushintsha umuntu asinidi conference simshintsha manje. Angeke siyekele umuntu azodlala ngalento simshaya manje. Umuntu simenzani? Umuntu simqeda manje, siyamqeda. And lento ngishoyo comrades, it's not a joke. Ngiyanitshela nje ukuthi si adopte i-action plan, 10-point plan. Bengihlezi nama comrades ase Northwest besixoxa le action plan. Sibabuza ukuthi comrades, nihlaleleni nabantu abangasiziyo. Umasipala uhlaleleni no MM ongafundanga. Nimtholaphi futhi lo MM uziswe ubani? Mandla, you are the PC, no Chirwa. Nonke la. Manihleli ni PC, nitholi report. I-report ye barometer ye local government. As ANC manje. Intshela ukuthi nine unqualified report and ayishintshi nje lento kulo masipala. It deteriorate, but we have been voted by the people. When are we going to act? Ilento president ebeyisho ukuthi in our municipalities we are not improving. We have been surpassed by our opponents. But we are doing one and the same thing. Why our municipalities are unable to produce good results in terms of the audit. We have been analyzing the problem, but we are not acting. So if most of you thought the action plan in Joburg was a movie, it's not a movie. It's an action plan. Sai presenta kuni. And we came to all the regions here in Mpumalanga. We briefed you, haven't we? We did. So the REC and everybody must monitor. We said in that action plan, every month, if not more, a councillor must convene community meetings. So nihlulwa yini lapha? So kumbuza ukhansela ukuthi wawungabizi community meeting miyeke. And then izawuvela i-report ukuthi azange wayibiza ngisho i-community meeting lo muntu. Any community meeting is not malicious compliance. You do community meeting and other things. Lento yobukhansela ne-ANC iyasetyenzelwa. It's not for free. Action plan we have adopted, we presented in Johannesburg. And President gave you the marching orders. Na debate ukuthi President to endorse IDA. Na debate ukuthi kwete uthi anina capacity ningodololo. Manje, comrades, we are not going to explain statements. Kukwabantu who blew that talk of the president among us here out of proportion. Because they want to sustain this thing that Uramaphosa, hey Uramaphosa, umntu wabelungu. Uramaphosa, inkokeli eqotho ye-ANC. Siyazela emzabalazweni. Abantu abamonyulayo bamlanda estratweni ezenzela ibhizinisi. Azange ancenge ukuzoba inkokeli. Namlanda lapha eBloemfontein. Thina nasishaya sashiya izicathulo lapha. Namenza upresident, udeputy president. Leyo angeke ngiyikhohlwe ngoba kwashaywa mina lapha. Ene ngiyayazi ukuthi uRamaphosa azange ancenge ukuba inkokeli. He was nice having a job yoba i-NEC member emnandi kabi. Namlanda. Wabetrayed by the same people abamlandile. Bona laba bantu bamlandile. Abanye babo wababuza uRamaphosa makabe emnyule eBloemfontein wathi maningenzi deputy, what happens? Bathi uyanyuka up. What up? Wayibamba umatamela kuthiwa ndiyanyuka mos. Wanyuka nyani. Wanyuka. Kanti laba bantu bathanyuke bayamkhohliswa banabantu baba babafaka epoketeni. Ithema bafuna uba unleasha yabahlula lonto. Upresident has served 2 terms, uyaqedela kule term. Angiyazi noba nizomfuna kuyelandelayo, but akhonto emnqandelayo. Masiyekele kweloso sikhathi masizayo. Ningalwi nomuntu. Ngathi ngikhuluma ngobaba uMtsipe kwathiwa ndilwa naye. Angilwi naye futhi if ngikhulume kabi ngiyarhoxa. Ngoba ngalwiswa kakubi ngabantu bakaMtsipe wena SG yeke lento yokulwa noMtsipe. Angilwi noMtsipe bengikhuluma i-decision ye-NEC eyokuthi masiyeke ukuxoxa lento yobuholi ngoba sisenkingeni. Masiyilwe siwina ama-election sizoyixoxa masibuya lapha. Kukho abantu abayithandayo ke lento. Ngithi nami mangibayeke ngoba mangibakhalima ngisho izinto esivumelene ngazo ukuthi uMbalula usislower down yena uyaqhubeka. Uyabona mangimelana namhlanje nimane nisithi hayine pula yaMbalula ukuthi sinitshelile nanso. Umandla kazulala la. Mandla niyenzane eMpumalanga. Waye uMbalula ehlala ejika lapho. Sekufuneka bakhohliwe ukuthi ndingunobhala ene ngizobuya na next week mandla ungawari. Ngiyeza. Ya ungibize nasenkangala ngikafiki ispeed. Ngicela ukufika enkangala. Brajo ngiyeza. Andiyo minister mna ndiyo deputy minister ndingu SG ndi full time. So naphakade evekini maningifuna ngiyekhona ama comrades. If abantu lonto ayibajabulisi ayibalalisi shame kuseza ubanzima. Azange ndinyulela ulala eJoburg. I must be with the structures. Ene ayingidakwi lento abantu mabathi kum Mbalula siyakucabanga ingathi ungaba upresident. That thing doesn't make me drunk. Ngiye ngikujonge nje ukuthi userious na. Ene ngukukhalimele futhi makancane. Isikhathi sezo zinto siyeza. Suzongidakiswa la ngiphethe umcimbi oshushu woba ngu-SG ungifakele ezinye ideas. If I can lose focus on this job izocollapse lento yeni. Because ngizohamba ngigijima la ngifuna uba umholi. Ngingasebenzeli ANC ndingathatha izinqumo. Makufuneka ngifike la ngithatha izinqumo eMpumalanga ngiyacabanga 2 times ukuthi hey ingaba bazongimnyula na. Kanti funeka ndisithatha isinqumo ngicibele ndithi disband. Masiyeni phambili. So comrades, ezi zinto funeka siz understand ukuthi isimo esikuso sikuphi na. Decisions must be taken. You are not going to convince South Africans and don't punish people. Ngoba sonke siyathanda ukuba ngoceba. Akhonto elwelwayo akukaANC ukudlula uba uceba. Ukudlula uba ucancel. Abantu bayayithanda la post. Yoba ucancela. Yo umuntu angakubulala. Ne-political task team le ivuliwe kaMkhwanazi. Iyavulwa ngoba oceba bayanqumulwa nje. Ma ukhansela uyabulawa. Angisayibona leyo bu-MEC hayi. Uceba bakuqeda manje. Mababona ukuthi uyidanger bathi lo uzongiphazamisa. Makasuke endleleni. Comrades, sizonichuchisa but kahle. Emsebenzini sine program niye goli sanibiza na adopta, let it be implemented. Action plan is not action plan ngegama nje. It's a program of the ANC. NgoNovember sizoyitsala leya report izositshela ukuthi province by province who is #1 in implementing the action plan and which is the best performing municipalities in the country of the African National Congress. must compete ngalokho ukuthi my municipality mina siyakhokhela. You've got the support of the ANC. You know, to be a councillor is a thankless job. You are in the cold face of delivery. So there's no way you can be a councillor and you lack activity. There's no way. Because you've got permanent activity there. So, because the demands of the people are there daily. So as a councillor of the people, you can't miss in action. Comrades, this program of the action plan is very important. In this General Council, it must be distributed. Comrades, the key challenges we are facing is things you know. Inequality, unemployment, I've spoken about. Corruption, I've spoken about that. ANC dropped approximately to 40%. We know that there are challenges based on counter-revolutionaries who present themselves as more radical when their record speaks to the fact that they are nothing like that. We have identified 4 strategic pillars of renewal. Bold economic reconstruction plan, infrastructure, industrialization and localization. We also convened a special NEC where we spoke about economy. 10-point plan, you've got it. In this General Council, I think is going to be presented. Employment focused on macro policy. It's very important. Education and skills revolution, public sector reform and crime fighting. The second point is nation building. Community development forums and mass campaigns are key. Any living organism is seen by activity of engaging with the people. 3 is renewal of the ANC. Eradicate factionalism and patronage. Enforce discipline and performance and accountability. Discipline in any party as big as ours is important. Xa kungekho discipline in the party, we'll never have an organization. An NEC member standing up in public and saying things not consistent with the NEC. NEC must be the first to lead. In the ANC, you defend decisions that you don't even like. We must defend in the ANC. That goes as well in the provinces. Democratic centralism. Mpumalanga is not a federation, does not exist on its own. You are led from the center. The center holds. Ngibona omnye comrade Twitter ebusuku. Labantu ba Twitter bephuzile ebusuku. Abe ANC. Ati the center doesn't hold. Dabona ukuthi ingenile whiskey or whatever ayiphuzayo. Ihambe emadolweni ngoku. Mna utywala ndabuyeka comrade. Iva uthi out. Yewe, ndabuphumela. Ndabuyeka utywala because utywala bungakulimaza. Angisho nibuyeke but niphuze nibuya. Ngoba niyabudinga utywala but not kakhulu. Don't drown. A revolutionary doesn't drown in the alcohol. Mawuye embodleleni, mawuye tavern, mawuya night club, funeka ungene uphume ngolanyango ungene ngawo. Ungaphumi so abantu mababuza ubani lo bathi ngulowe ANC. Inkokheli funeka ihambe ifake izbags mayingene etshwaleni phakathi kwabantu iphume imnandi. Ibalalelisa ukuthi bye bye. Uyabona abantu bathi hey labantu be ANC ba organized. Ungaphumi pha ubulawa butshwala and so on. Usihlaza phakathi kwabantu. Abantu bekwazi ukuthi uyinkokheli udakiwe. You can't be like that leading the people. People are looking at leadership from us. And we must be proper. So comrades, discipline is important. Democratic centralism, discipline is important. It's not dictatorship. When comrades do things ezingekho emthethweni fanele zilandelwe. Yabona ngayo addressa inkomfa pha ye-Youth League. General Council ngafika abantu becula ingoma ezi. What did you do in Nhlanzeni? Abayazi abantu uNkulunkulu. Hey, babona nje abantu bathukuthele kuthiwa the problem is in Nhlanzeni. Abantu bashayiwe la inkomfeni eNhlanzeni. Inkomfa ye-ANC yahlala kamnandi nje yaphela eNhlanzeni yaphela. Manje mina bekufuneka ngifike eNhlanzeni ngivala inkomfa. Ngiyivala kanjani inkomfa? Ngingunobhala we-ANC. Jikelele. Ngifike ndivale i-conference mina. Ndiwathatha pha amandla ngaka. Lama branch azongimashela lapha eLuthuli House le nto uyenzayo. Ayilunganga. Kuthiwa SG why waculela ingoma ezingacacanga kuthiwa yila nkomfa uhambe uvala ama-branch wena. But lama comrade amancane. But i-discipline bathi igotshwa isencane. Angeke sivume kwenziwe into ezirongo egameni le-Youth League and all of that. Ngayikhalima laphana ibingeyonto enkulu bayithatha bayenza into enkulu. Ama-comrade athi hey ngongakhulumanga ngale nto ndithi ndikhulume ngabomu because ngiyasibona isigezo. And isigezo akufunekanga sisifihle. Funeka sisiveze sidile ngaso. Yeah, singathi masifika la ku-PGC kugeza abantu abayi-2 bathi le nto ibingekho nkulu ibingabantu abayi-2. Labantu abayi-2 abagezayo mabangene ku-DC. Because abantu bafika lapha bechitha inkomfa ye-ANC eNazareth upresident ekhuluma bacula. It's acceptable that thing in the organization. Discipline, comrades, is important in the organization. And we must deal with that. And then AS4 is navigating global complexity. Government of national unity. We control key ministries. Leadership renewal. We must rally motive forces. We must address the national question, even here in Mpumalanga. As I conclude, comrades, the spirit to climb another hill. We have overcome many hills since 1994. Breakthrough of 1994 state capture COVID-19. Now we must climb again to renew the movement, reignite the economy, and restore hope. That's what we must do. Comrades, the ANC supports the Madlanga Commission. Not only the Madlanga Commission, there's another commission on the TRC. And many people will say, why didn't the president just act? Why did he have to establish a commission? Now I want to explain why. I don't know the rationale of the president of the country, but I want to explain why the ANC supported. ANC, not President Ramaphosa. We went to the NEC. Everybody supported the establishment of the commission. There's nobody who sat there in the NEC who opposed. And I read the NEC statement. I hope you got it. ANC support the establishment of the Mpumalanga Commission. Comrades, on the 6th of July, we wake up, there's a policeman addressing the nation and say, here are the allegations. There are many forces in society that wanted to elevate that thing to a form of revolt against the democratic state, like it happened during the Jacob Zuma unrest. You remember? And then they said they don't know why Zuma is arrested. And then they brought the country down. More than 400 people died. In Gauteng and KZN. Now, when General Mkwanas addressed the nation, I've spoken about crime here today and what we need to do and the good work that the police are doing. Crime affects you where you live in your household. If the president of the country, according to the ANC, were to treat that matter anyhow as a by-the-way issue, this country was going to turn into flames. What brought the Spring Revolution in Egypt and brought down the longest-serving dictator in Egypt was not anything else but was the one grievance of the masses. Kwabulawa umuntu estratweni. We knew as the ANC, with all counter-revolution around us and opportunists, this thing will be bigger than the unrest when Jacob Zuma was justifiably so arrested. Because the terms of the Commission of Inquiry, like even this one of Mpumalanga, are very clear. If you are subpoenaed, you don't appear, you will be arrested and sent to jail for a limited period without trial. It's in the terms of the commission. If ndiyabizwa ngomso, funeka ndinxibe ibhrukwe ndiye ndincuntsa kula commission if I don't want to be arrested. It is in the terms of the commission. The president took a decision in his own wisdom, legally guided. As the ANC, we supported that. Because why? The matter Mkwanas was raising was important. Because, and I explained it on behalf of the NEC, that the things that is raising border on this country becoming a banana republic and the fall of the rule of law. If somebody wake up and say the state is infiltrated by criminal cartels, Ototi, Barana, ama comrade and deployees in government, and you put a blind eye on that, our people are not fools in the streets. They were going to revolt against the democratic state. Uguti, this government doesn't care about us. And that's why we supported Matamela to establish the Mpumalanga Commission. And that is the political context, as opposed to those who say there are other mechanisms that could have been there at the disposal of the president. The people wanted an answer, and the president of the people and the government of the people had to respond to that. Not to Mkwanas, but to the issues that he raised. And we never prevaricated as the ANC on that matter. And we have said that a commission of inquiry does not mean that those who are accused are guilty as charged. The principle of the law that the other side must be listened to exists for everyone. And that's what we supported. And I want you to be clear about it, so that you don't get hijacked in beer halls by drunkards who are telling you that this decision is detrimental. It will be detrimental if ever we allow ourselves to be found on the wrong side. And if ever others were doing things that are wrong in terms of what people are accused of. But the ANC must be decisive in how it deals with the outcome. And in this particular instance, we will expect that from our government. Now, comrades, there are people who want to debate what is being said, and they are not in the commission, and they want to pass judgment on every other matter. Kuthetha izinto ezinganyumbaziyo ezihambisa umzimba. That can these things, some of them, be true? And the commission is mandated to deal with those things. And we are okay with the fact that this commission is dealing with that particular matter. We anticipate attempts to put the ANC in the dock for the actions of individuals. Our message is simple: let evidence lead. We anticipate that the ANC will be put on trial and in the dock, quote unquote. Our approach is that let evidence lead. ANC deployees must understand, follow and defend policy. Where individuals are found to have acted outside the parameters of the Constitution and the law must take its course. Where systems failed, we must fix them. If I am there, I'm accused, I'm found to have done something wrong, the law must take its course. But where there is a system failure in the fight against crime and in our policing in the country, that must be fixed. Comrades, the rule of law is the fundamental principle of our national democratic revolution. And I'll tell you what Lenin and Marx say about the rule of law. ANC deployees in the state, the rule of law is bigger than the Zondo Commission. Zondo Commission, state capture, people steal money. The rule of law is about the state collapse. That we no longer have a state, we are no longer protected. Have you seen governments on movies where the state and the rule of law has collapsed? Gangsters have taken over. Politicians are dancing to the tune of thugs and cartels. I don't want to mention them by name because these are with diplomatic office. Busy countries. But you see them on movies, on the news, that the state has actually collapsed. South Africa can't be turned into a banana republic. We've got a solid state here. We've got strong constitution. We've got strong building blocks in our constitution to defend our democracy. And that was created by the ANC, all in all, to enhance and deepen the rule of law in our country. Our deployees must act within policy and law and will defend lawful deeds done in service of the people. The ANC, I can guarantee to you, comrades, and to the people of South Africa at large, the ANC will never defend lawlessness. And you must not be shy about it. Ningoyiki, janibona niyangingiza. Ningoyiki, you must not be afraid. We will never defend lawlessness, not in our name, but we will defend the rightful actions. Even if it means we must stand alone, we'll defend. In service of the people. Supporting the Commission, comrades, does not mean ignoring weaknesses. We are committed to correcting anomalies exposed in testimony and to strengthening the democratic state, institutionally, procedurally, and ethically. The ANC cannot be found wanting in relation to that. The Commission must be empowered, quote unquote, to draw the line. Must be empowered to draw the line. It must separate legitimate transparency from disclosure of sensitive and classified information that could harm national security. And I want to explain to you. I'm sure you follow that commission like Bold and the Beautiful and Days of Our Lives, because it impacts on our lives. And I'm sure everybody follows it. Angisho. Now, comrades, here is the distinction. And the Commission must not prevaricate. We were happy as the ANC when the Commission went to court and protected witnesses with the sensitive and classified information of the state. I get worried when people in the Commission say, you can clear your messages, but we'll find them. Iyandothusa lonto. Akho nto wrong ngalonto, but iyandothusa because we are going a little bit above. Sivusa namasela la sifuna uwabamba. So the Commission must be strict about that. We cannot allow the collapse of national security. Kukho izinto ekufuneka singazazi. Singabantu nje. But they are within the law. We know today that policemen cannot just take your messages without acquiring permission of the judge. It is called 205. Angisho? But there are things we don't need to know. Ugutu lisela and how you get to be intercepted. Isela funeka libanjwe. Umanyelwe le phone yalo. Lileqwe liyongena apho lingena khona. But we don't want to know how a thief's been listened to. Zimfihlo ze state ezo. Those are secrets of the state. We implore on the judge to protect the security of the state. And we must not prevaricate, and we must not fudge the truth. Inyani mayivele yo. Umuntu aziphendulele ngenxa yakhe. Siyazibona izinto ziyathethwa pha. We have said as the ANC, we will not engage with what is happening inside the Commission. The recent developments in the Commission have balanced openness with in-camera session, protect witnesses, safety, and sensitive material. We are very happy about that. We are very happy about that. As long as that will lead us to the truth. We don't want the collapse of the state. This commission, when it is finished, we must get stronger and stronger as a nation and as the state. National security must not be sacrificed for expediency. Doing so corrodes the rule of law and the credibility of the state. The ANC position is clear, comrades, on policing. Government 1995-96 adopted National Crime Prevention Strategy. A holistic cabinet-mandated approach pairing effective law enforcement with prevention and institutional reform. In 1996, we said crime prevention is a national priority. We commend the police for the good work that they are doing. In a classic Marxist theory, comrades, law is part of the social superstructure. reflecting material relations under capitalism, and quote-unquote, the legal form mirrors commodity exchange and the abstract quality of legal subjects. From a Marxist-Leninist lens, upholding legality today is not to defer to bourgeoisie. It is material to protecting the democratic transition. So there can never be a state without the rule of law. There can never. And anyone who thinks that the rule of law is not fundamental in our project of the National Democratic Revolution, ufuna umkhabulo oqinileyo to understand why it is important that the rule of law must not collapse. Comrades, in conclusion, we support the Commission to do its work, to protect witnesses where needed and guard state secrets lawfully in the national interest. You understand that? We support the Commission to protect witnesses where needed and guard state secrets lawfully in the national interest. Those things must not collapse. And society must give this work a chance. Don't judge people. I know it is very tempting, but connect the dots, because that inquiry is in the open. But other people want to pass judgment, even right at the beginning. When the first witness came to the Mpumalanga Commission, there were many judges who had already made a determination. It might as well, people are correct, but give the Commission a chance. That's what we believe in. And we don't want to give a running commentary alongside that, except the principles we have articulated as the ANC. We reject turning lawful governance into political theater. We must choose evidence, law, and institutional reform over conspiracy and spectacle. The ANC in Mpumalanga must make the challenge on implementing the action plan on local government. I've spoken at length about that. Comrades, we have said that Communist Party and its decision, we don't support as the ANC. Because the Communist Party, to come together, we have released a document, I hope you get it, by the NEC. It's called The Perspective of the ANC. Read that document. If you don't have it, I'll distribute it for you on WhatsApp. I don't belong to WhatsApp, but I'll find you there on WhatsApp groups. Read that. The reason why we think that theoretically and ideologically, it will be wrong for the party at this time when the ANC needs a united front. When the ANC is at its weakest, we have the Communist Party standing on its own. Ideologically, there is nothing that necessitates the party standing on its own. If the Communist Party says we are standing on our own because we are fighting for socialism, there's nothing we can do. When the ANC pursues the National Democratic Revolution, we think that is incorrect, ideologically. Because we have all accepted that the vanguard here is the African National Congress. We are. So once the party then says, Nati sikulento yenu, yet bona they pursue socialism, is wrong. We believe if they say we stand on our own because we are pursuing socialist ideas, because the Communist Party is a political vanguard of the working class. But that working class found expression in this multi-class organ called the African National Congress. So if the Communist Party is getting out, it then leaves the ANC as a nationalist project and pursuing this agenda of revolutionary democrats only without communists in it. And therefore, that in itself, we don't believe it serves the alliance. And the Communist Party is bargaining with something that has benefited the project of socialism in the longer years. Now, we argue in that document historically about what Joe Slovo said in relation to this matter. We argue in that document about Marxist and Engels in relation to the alliance of the working class and the nationalist movement, like the African National Congress. A unique experience in the whole world, if not the whole world, only in South Africa, where communists and the workers are under one umbrella, led by a vanguard in a project of national democratic revolution called the African National Congress. We are stronger together. Don't miscalculate me to think that I'm replicating the slogan of the Springboks. Stronger together. No. We are stronger together in pursuance of the national democratic revolution. The Communist Party has never been with us because it pursued numbers. It was with us because it has sharpened the ANC in the trenches of revolution in terms of theoretical perspective and ideology. Yeah, within us. That's why Abo Mandela, when they disrupted the meetings of the Communist Party, they were convinced by Uncle JB, they were convinced by Uncle Moses Kotani, and Moses Mabhida, how wrong that decision was. Because they characterized the Communist Party as an ideology of whiteness. And these foremost revolutionaries, who were leading leaders of the ANC, convinced them about how wrong they were. And Bo Mandela, when they realized in the Youth League that, because that time to join the Communist Party was not above board, it was underground. And they started to see, even yourself, you are in the party, then this thing is right. People who led the ANC at the helm, even in the camps of Umkhonto weSizwe, were communists, who laid their lives for the success of the national democratic revolution, were communists. Chris Hani was a chief of staff, was a leading commander and a soldier of the ANC in Wankie and Spolilo. Others fall in battle. They didn't come here with numbers. They understood why they must be in the front line, in the leadership of the movement. This thing of joining the party was not fashion. Was not fashion. You wouldn't know a person is a communist. You could only see them with deeds. It is only in 1990, 1991, when joining the Communist Party had membership, and at the same time, you were chasing numbers. Even the numbers of forming a party branch are not equal to the ANC branch. We are 100, they are 25, somewhere there. So I'm just giving you an idea. Even the idea of the mass party has never been about massification of the party in terms of numbers. It is informed by historical conjuncture of how this Communist Party have come to be in alliance with the African National Congress. So, Nina, comrades, there are others who say, let them go and stand on their own, they won't make it. And that's what you say. Let them go and stand. And it is possible they won't make it. But remember, that has never been the goal. We fight here. If the issue is reconfiguration, that the Communist Party want other things in the reconfiguration, we are ready as the ANC. We know the party says that we are arrogant. We took decisions about reconfiguration we did not implement. We are the leadership now. We are ready to implement. Not Omagashule, and Dibonile, chairman we province Mjamba Omagashule. ukuthi ke waba ngunobhala when he was reading Secretary-General awumjampile shame akange ayenze nange mistake usuke kugwede waya ngokukhawuleza wathi Mbalula azange kwaba kumahashule kumandla nix it doesn't exist ukuthi omahashule azange balide kakuhle and finalize the discussion can be our problem. We are ready for that. We have said this. We have seen the horses have bolted. Communist Party is contesting every by-election. In last by-election, they got about 40 votes. In Limpopo, they got 70 and everywhere. It's not in the interest of the NDR. We agree we've got a mandate of the NEC, comrades of the NEC are here. Osis Regina, Omandla, Oputjo. We have said we've got a mandate to engage. This Monday, we are meeting with COSATU. We attended the COSATU Congress, and the province said COSATU gave a message of support here. And then COSATU said they want the alliance to be stronger. Viva COSATU, viva. So Monday, we are meeting with COSATU in a bilateral. Tina. From there, we are going to meet with the Communist Party. In November, we are going to report to the NEC our discussions. But read that perspective. Why the NEC says that decision is wrong. Read it. After that NEC sizawunika umkhombandlela, we will come back to you about what is going to happen. And we'll engage with you. We are going to again convene regional meetings and brief all our branches about the way forward. So don't treat Communist Party as an enemy. If ever they decide to contest, and I don't want to speak my views now because this is a sensitive matter, I will express my views in the NEC. If ever a decision is taken different, you will be guided. We have reached a moment of crossroads in our revolution. Decisions are not taken easily. So we must be sober about what we are doing. And that's what we have appealed to the party when we engage with them. I know, comrades, you are impatient. You are impatient. But don't be. Selana manzi. Kaniva ukuthi nezbilini your tempers are going up. Drink water. And apply your mind on this thing. And leave emotions out. We are in danger. The revolution is in danger. You might be correct that we're not losing numbers with the departure of the Communist Party. We're losing the principle. And that is fundamental. And we must never in our generation fail to give an account about this moment. When other generations come and ask questions, ANC yahlukana phakathi ne-Communist Party, we will not have perspectives. Abazemva kwethu bangakwazi uyicacisa. The decisions we are going to take must be explained even by generations to come. So maqabane lento sikuyo ifuna sinyamezelane sithandane. Lo mzabalazo sikuwo, it needs us to love each other. But uthando maseliphelile liphelile. Uyabona umuntu uyakwazi umnyamezela umthande aku-abuse umthande mhlana laphela jonga uyahamba ingathi ulahlekelwe izingqondo apha phandle liphelile ithando. That person loved me uzohamba uxokisela abantu etywaleni. Hey, I don't know how I lost my wife. The biggest mistake I did in my life was to leave my wife. Uxoke uthi ulahlekiswe ngabantu, unulahlekiswa ubulahlekiswa bubumnandi bomhlaba. Ukhohliwe ukuthi ubumnandi buyaphela. Umuntu ohlala naye uhlala naye uyamnyamezela ne problems zakhe because uyazazi. Uyamazi xa ke jika uthini na xa ke qumbile uthini nokuthi xa ke qumbe kakhulu umcofaphi abuye nivane into yakho mosle uboyishiya nje uthi live umntwami lo live uyabona uzawubuya myeke uyathanda uziqumbisa. He likes to make himself like this. Uyayithanda show off. And the Joy Communist Party uyayithanda show off but dithi le alliance into yethu comrades. You understand it? And the ANC is the bigger one. You understand? So this is not a show off. You must stand on it in principle. Comrades, we must deal with many jobs and immigration. As immigration is that it must be nourished. In local government, we must implement. We are going to a general council, even to debate. General council branches will defend the ANC. The people want to see the ANC emerge from the general council a strong organization, decisive, leading the motive forces going forward, dealing with the challenges before it. Sanulahlekiswa ngunobenani ngesixhosa ndiyazi ngesiswati kuthiwa nilahlekiswa. You are diverted by things that have got no meaning. Issues of leadership, including for the national conference, they will be resolved at the right moment. And nina abantu base Mpumalanga ke nizi experts kula mcimbi we leadership. You are experts. And asozi nihlule leyanto. But I must make you aware, our enemies, they like to divert us with this thing. If you want to divert an ANC person, mfake kwinto ye leadership succession. They lose focus bajongele and forget everything. So you must refuse to be diverted. Even when you read the headlines, look at them and pass and focus on the task. Mpumalanga is ready from where I'm seated to proceed to the provincial conference, and nothing must stop you from that. Others may not be ready as you are, but I believe, Comrade Joe, this province is ready. And masinga ibambezeli masikhulula Mpumalanga maniqhube. Sivale ngokukhawuleza lento yale conference iphele, so that you focus. Because if we postpone it, we'll have to convert you to be a PTT. Unnecessarily, why do we convert a structure that is ready to be a PTT? Mandla move from a provincial executive to PTT. I-PTT ayikomandi ke mhlekazi ndi umuntu okhokhela i-PTT ndimvusana ngo-12 ndimchinje. Did you know you are changed from today? Awuyazi nokuthi lo decision ivelaphi. Did you know you are changed, comrade? I think you must now become just an ordinary member. So akomntu ufuna ukhokhela ngempundo enye. Umuntu ufuna ukhokhela kamandi zabalala. So Mpumalanga must lead. You are doing a great job, comrades. Let us continue to build an organization. Thank you very much.
Martha. Thank you, comrades. Thank you.